What's going on, chat? Today we are doing a deck profile on Viktor midrange. Today we played in the Riftlab Clash II, August 23rd, 2025. We went 3-1 today, and we'll go over some matchups, deck list, and just some of the event. The event had about 80 players, I believe, around, and 5 pods of 16, 4-round event. This is the 16 players in our pod. Our pod was stacked, man. We got some noticeable names in here. We got 10K, Prismat. We got what's up, Vendorti, Presto. He made 4-0 yesterday in the clash yesterday. And Prismat also, I did 4-0, I think. But Vendorti does very well in other events. I'm pretty sure you guys know him already. But yeah, stacked ass pod. Let's go over deck list. So here we've got standard, or just a regular mid-range Viktor list. Nothing too crazy going on. I have made a lot of changes. Just a lot of based on the games that we've been playing. I have moved to 6/6 on runes. I am still a believer in these 3 battlefields, but that is subject to change. Obelisk of Power can do a lot for you and do a lot against you. But I still see a lot of benefits in going first and starting with 3 runes, because we can play a 2-drop and a recruit, which we have increased the 2-drop count a little bit by 1, but we'll go over that in the list. So the list looks like this so far. We've got Yellow Viktor, obviously, in a mid-range deck. We've got 3 Stupefy, 3 Student, 3 Hidden Blade, 3 Smokescreen, 3 Poro, 3 Scout. So this is where we start things off with 9 2-drops. I think a lot of the times we just want to have a 2-drop and a recruit. We don't want to miss on developing the board whatsoever, because that can be very problematic. Stupefy, I think, is good in a game 1 situation and in War Camp, which we can go over at some other point. And I have moved to 3 Calder Week. I think Calder Week is just too good to pass up, especially in game 1, where you don't know what's gonna happen or who you're against. It's probably the worst card in a mirror match. We're playing 3 Drummer because I think Drummer is just really fucking good. It just makes 2 bodies. If it doesn't die to Falling Star, we're in fucking business. And if they have Falling Star, they probably would fuck you anyway. So here we are. We also have taken out manufacturers and replaced them with Vanguard captains. I think most of the time for this event, or most of the time, I've been happy with this. I used to not like Vanguard captain, but I think the third might is very relevant. The problems start when the opponent has, maybe a 2 might unit, like a Pit Rookie or something of that sort. Citria is another example. Just 2 might units. The manufacturer was not cutting it. Sometimes I just couldn't, get through boards, and just because of 1 might missing. And some of the games were so close today that I really do believe that the extra might and the extra recruit made the world of difference. But we will still be playing this more to see how true that turns out to be. I was not a fan before, but I am trying to be. I'm trying to figure out what kind of place this has in this deck. Okay, so I think Crew Patron is good too, since it really, I think 3 in particular is good, because we really try and get into those situations where we take a point with the recruit and the opponent maybe has a Ravenbloom student on the board, and we want to just get rid of the recruit that just took the point, and we could develop the patron with that. In the mid to late game, when boards are a little more simplified, if it's you know, empty boards on both sides, paying 5 for a 6 my creature is not really the worst thing you could do with your time. It's really not. It's fine. And even in the later stage, in the last few points of the game, you could even Sprite Mother, use the sprite to take a point somewhere or something, and play a patron. This card is too good not to have in 3. I've seen lists with less than 3. I'm not convinced. So our top end looks like this. We have 1 stratagem, 3 singularity, 2 watcher. So the way that I'm looking at things right now, I think the singularity really needs to be 3 in main deck if you are playing blue. I feel like there's very little room for otherwise right now. And the reason why I say that is because like this can really deal damage to Yi, since something they do is, you know, play 1 unit to each battlefield. If you can singularity and they just don't have a win wall, which they don't always run in the main board, that could be real good for you. And then you could maybe move to stratagem, which we'll talk about later. So currently, I think I'm looking at going back into a second stratagem. I'm not sure. I think stratagem has really felt like a one-of card to me, because I just don't think you want to be playing 2, or you are able to really play 2 in a game. Like for example, if you're going from 4 to 6 points with using a stratagem, your units are going to be on the board, and they're probably 1 might units. They're just gonna die. And if you had so many units on the board that you can fire off a second stratagem and come out ahead, that's 2 stratagems, and then they Sprite Mother, you lose 3, and then you stratagem again. I guess we just had enough units. At that point, you were so far ahead, and you couldn't be in a place that you were at 6 runes, because if you fire a stratagem at 6, you're going back to 5 next turn, unless you have a Hawk Tua. So I am not convinced. You got to be at 7 to fire off double stratagem, which is not always really possible. The thing is, the deck has a lot of pretty high energy, pretty high power requirements here. And I'm currently looking at 2 watchers. Watcher has some issues. Obviously, it's a great card. Everybody is learning how to play around it, especially because Kaisa's really used this to try and nail a game down. You know, Kaisa's be using Watcher and Darius, but you know, people are playing around Watcher like Master Yi. Master Yi has a lot of shield and his passive, and you can Watcher, and that thing is still that Poro, that Stalwart Poro, that thing is still 4. Like, why is that thing still 4, man? It dies to Watcher, but it might not. You know, they might have Primal Might or Primal Strength. They might have 2 on guards. I mean, it's just weird. I think it's weird as hell, man. But that is not an argument for Watcher being a bad card or anything like that. It's a great card. I'm just thinking about ratios and moving cards around main aside. I think I'm pretty happy currently with a 2 Watcher in main, 1 inside. I am having mixed feelings about this Evangel. I think Evangel has some place in the Kaisa game. I think a lot of the time you're kind of just tapping out if you're playing Viktor against Kaisa. You're spending all your runes to just put as much might on the board in as short a time as possible. So like, and the reason why I bring that up is because we could be playing cards like Retreat, which is right now is a favorite among blue players. Teemo could play that. Kaisa plays it. Victors have been seen playing it. Not sure how I feel about that yet, but I may feel differently about that if I was playing Riptide Rexes, right? But the problem with Riptide Rex is we want Retreat in against Kaisa, which is what Evangel is targeting, but we don't want Riptide Rexes. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna bounce Sprite Mother when they Falling Star, which is a good place to be. Yeah, if you told me that was a good line, I would agree with you. I'm just not convinced because so what am I gonna do if I go first? Turn 1 Poro, turn 2 Drummer, and hold up Retreat in case they go Falling Star. It's not bad. I'm not 100% sure. The reason why I'm also leaning towards Evangel is because in the mirror match, this is kind of a thing. I might move away from 3 salvage. I think 2 might be okay, but Beta Hook is just really good. Really good. I'm not sure if that's the right wording because they're not exactly putting up the most numbers. Obviously, Prisma won with that. Won the first 1K with that, but we gotta prepare for what we know about. We don't always have the luxury to prepare about things that we know about but don't see very often. That might be a luxury. We'll think about that. We might go down a salvage and go up a stratagem because the stratagem gets some equity when they start playing around Singularity with a card like unyielding what's it called? Unyielding Spirit. Yep. But yeah, let's go into some of the matchups we had today. Round 1 was a bye, lucky me. Round 2 was against Viking, I think. I don't remember. Yeah, oh yeah, I do remember. Yeah, it was against Viking. The tournament software was bugging out and he showed up late. Not his fault. The tournament software was weird all day for me. It's just weird. Anyway, yeah, so he did show up late, but we did not, we finished in time. And it looks like he has a better record than me. Yeah, because he played out all 4 rounds instead of me, and I was not able to get past that. But yeah, so I was able to win against him. He was playing Kaisa. I had lost to Robin Hood here. He was also on Kaisa. I had to just deal with Acadian Reigns all day. And the last round I played against Prismat, who was on Teemo. The Teemo deck that I believe it was the same Teemo deck that he made 4-0 with. That deck is really interesting. I am now interested in trying it out since I'm a blue enjoyer myself. That deck has a lot of potential, I think. He's playing Rasa. They have access to Watcher and Singularity. We got good cards in there. They got access to Fight or Flight. Great card. They have access to Guerrilla Warfare Game 1. These are I am pointing things out that were done to me. You know, Game 1. What he did was he got to, use traveling merchant, stack deck, those kinds of things. Gust of wind to slow me down. My recruits just die when they get gusted. So yeah, he was doing those things. He got to 10 cards in the trash, and then he played a Rasa for a purple power. I was taken aback. That was kind of crazy. I was, yeah. He put I think he took a battlefield with an Ember Monk, hit a guard under that thing, and played a Rasa for free. Yeah, they're doing things like drawing lots of cards with Consult. Using Stupefy and stack decked to go through their cards a lot, and playing a lot of hidden cards, just a lot of card advantage. And they got Watcher, they got Mind Splitter, they got Rasa, they got big boys. And Mind Splitter don't die to a Singularity unless I have a Stupefy, and especially doesn't die if I have to bring out my War Camp for game 2. It has some fight to it. So these games were not free. I was able to win 2-1, barely. But yeah, the games were interesting today. It's just Kaisa, and then Prismat himself. Those were, my other opponents were good. Obviously, it's not hate or nothing. But yeah, it was just an interesting day, and yeah, we were able to, I guess, go 2-1 if you count the bye. 3-1. I'm counting the bye. Fuck it, we ball. And I'm closing in on a list I really like, or a deck list I really like for this deck. It's just the sideboard. I just know we can do better. The stratagem might need to go to 2 against some matchups. Sometimes the only way you can beat orange is to just have a lot of might on the board. And the only way you could put might on the board is stratagem. I'm not sure it's a triple stratagem season. I think Singularity and Watcher are too good right now. The stonks is too high. Yeah, Singularity is just so good. I will be looking into improvements though, but this looks pretty good for us. There's just a lot of cards in here fit very well. 3 might is a very important breakpoint, because Kaisa can't Hextech Array these units if they are going into a war camp. That's very important. And Patron is also very important. It must be Singularity for Kaisa to beat it, or they gotta input 2 cards. Like, for example, they could input Void Seeker and Smoke Bomb, or 2 Stupefies. You're getting into requirements, not single card answers, right? You're getting into multi-card answers, which obviously is preferable. Yeah, we might go down a Salvage, we might go down an Evangel. One thing I noticed is that if we ever face another Viktor, we could have problems. We could have lots of problems. Because Watcher is not particularly... It's not bad against Viktor, obviously, but it has issues. It will run over the tokens, but it might not. We might need to start playing Absorb. I don't even know what it's called. His signature card, Siphon Strength, I believe. But yeah, and yeah, let me know in the chat if you guys got any suggestions, comments, concerns, maybe some ideas for the battlefields. And yeah, I will be posting more results and streaming on Twitch, so you guys can join me give you some deck recommendations if you guys want to see anything played in particular. And thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys later.